What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video from the 10-7 MMA channel. And this video is a video I've been wanting to make since this fight was alluded to not too long ago. This is my fantasy White House card, just the prelims and the main, not the early prelims. But I thought it'd be fun just to imagine in the future, depending on how certain fights go, how certain titles go, etc., what could be possible if we were to put together a picture-perfect, ideal card. Now, I'm not being totally unrealistic, I feel. I'm not making every fight a title fight. I know they wanted to be the biggest, baddest card ever, even bigger than UFC 300, which was incredible. So I think I put something together that makes sense, given that it's themed around Independence Day for the US, as well as a reasonable amount of title shots. And you might even shake your head when you're watching this, be like, there's no way they're going to get these many fighters to sign on. There's not enough money to go around, yada, yada. The beauty of this event is that the UFC has major leverage with all the fighters, not financially, but in terms of the exposure that they're going to get. This is going to be a one-off event. It's never been done before. Maybe will never be done again. We shall see. But either way, this coupled with the fact that I guarantee you this fight will be streamed on whether it's Netflix or Amazon or whatnot. So the entire world, I bet you, will be watching. So the UFC is going to have a lot of leverage other than financial leverage in order to incentivize these fighters to take these fights. So let's have some fun. Let's go down fantasy lane with me, if you will, and let's just imagine the greatest card ever for this UFC event on July 4th, 2026. All right, so starting off at the bottom of the prelims, I thought this might be a fun one. People are going to hate this. I know people are going to hate this, but come on. COLBY versus MASVIDAL 2. They've already been talking to, or people have been saying that, hey, there's a possibility this might happen again. Why not? Let's bring MASVIDAL out of retirement, have him. It's a true grudge match. They're both American. So in my mind, I think it's okay to have American versus American because one of the Americans is going to win. Again, I'm sure most people want COLBY to lose. MASVIDAL is much more popular. COLBY's talked a lot of smack and it's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But either way, we're going to get an American winning. And I think that's going to fit the theme. Why not? At the bottom of the prelims, I think this could be a fun fight, some good trash talk. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. I think that could be cool. Moving up to fight number 4, Bo Nickal All-American versus SHARA Bullet. This is a fight they've been talking about for some time. Now, again, imagine this is a year from now or just under a year from now. So in that time, I imagine Bo Nickal's going to come back, take another fight. I think they're going to, I think he's going to win his next fight. Let me just put it that way. SHARA Bullet just had an amazing victory. He had his nose broken. Let's say he gets another fight somewhere in January or February. I think the timing could work out. Let's say both of these guys get wins. They both have a tremendous amount of hype behind them. I think this could be really fun to get these guys on that card, especially because I know Trump loves Bo Nickal as well. Now, you might say, well, SHARA Bullet, he's not going to be able to fight in the U.S. I actually don't think that's true. I think the commission will allow him to fight in the U.S. This is me talking to another professional fighter, not in the UFC, but who fights on the regional scene, and he has one eye. He's been allowed to fight by various state commissions, which again are the same commissions, right? By various commissions to fight in the U.S. I do think this is actually possible. So there you go. Moving on to fight number 3 in the prelims, Dominic Reyes versus Alex Pereira. So again, you have to take this in. You have to take into account what I'm going to imagine is going to happen in the next year. I unfortunately, as big of a fan of Alex Pereira as I am, I unfortunately think he's going to lose to Big Onk. And maybe he'll have one more fight in between. Maybe not. He might take some time off. I think Dominic Reyes is going to win his next fight. I think he's on a tear. I think he's on a comeback. I think he's going to be one of the top guys in the light heavyweight division. And I think this could be a really fun fight. Pereira is beloved by American fans worldwide. Dominic Reyes will be, I think by this point, he'll really be on a surge and a comeback. He's an American fighter. So why not? I'm a big fan of Dominic Reyes. Everybody loves Alex Pereira. So that's what I think. Now, I don't know what you guys think about this. GAETHJE versus Chandler 2. 2 Americans. Let's get him in there. It's going to be a bang-out brawl. I don't know if GAETHJE is going to be crazy about this, but the reason why I'm putting this one in here is because I'm not picking Chandler to go against Conor McGregor. So that's why. So as a attaboy, as something in consolation, maybe put Chandler against GAETHJE. It's going to be a crazy fight. So I think that could make sense. And it was a really fun fight, I think, from the fans' perspective. So I think that makes sense right there. And now we start getting into the title fights. People might get mad, and I'm a huge Kayla Harrison fan, but you'll see how I stack the main card, why this makes sense in a second. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes 2. So what I imagine is going to happen, Kayla Harrison's going to go out there in their first fight, whenever that is. I think she's going to beat Amanda Nunes. And I think there's no other competitor. Let's say, assuming in a perfect world, they have the fight, but it's close, and people are dying to see this fight again, you just get Amanda Nunes right back in there. They're by far the two biggest stars. Nobody even comes close to these two. So let's say they go to close one, we get a rematch, and I think Kayla Harrison will get it done. But that's going too far. Anyways, great way to round out the prelims. Now we get into the main. Here we go. At the bottom, you guys might think I'm crazy. We got Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz, 3 for the BMF title. Now, why am I putting this 5th and not 1st? You're going to see the other fights I put up here. I think by this point, a year from now, we're going to have so much star power in the UFC, and it's just not going to be justifiable anymore. But at the bottom of the thing, like, you can make a claim that this makes a lot of sense. 2 huge stars. We get Nate Diaz back. We get the BMF title, so it's still a title fight. And I think this would be incredible. I think Conor would do it because at this point he'll be out of the UFC for so many years. Nate Diaz has been out. I think this makes a lot of sense. People will love it. Everybody's going to tune in to the beginning of the main card. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. A lot of people might disagree. Maybe you got to cater more to the casuals, so this won't exactly work, but that's my thoughts. Moving on to fight number 4. We got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Sean O'Malley. Yes, for the welterweight strap. So again, this is in fantasy land where Merab goes up, defends against Sandhagen. Maybe in the meantime, Umar gets another victory. Okay, then we get Umar versus Merab, the rematch. Meanwhile, Sean O'Malley gets another win. And why would this be a cool fight if this all works out? And do I even think this is super likely? Not necessarily, but this would be cool because we got O'Malley back in the mix, a huge star, an American favorite. If he can get his career back on track and get some wins, I think that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Fight number 3, KHAMZAT versus Sean Strickland, true grudge match. We got the American, and I think KHAMZAT is beloved. And by this point, again, this is in fantasy land, assuming he wins this fight against DDP, maybe has another title defense in January, February, and then comes back and faces Strickland. Grudge match. Let's go with the American, but Sean will likely lose this fight, but people love KHAMZAT so much, I think it's all good. The co-main, the big dog, Ilia versus Islam at welterweight. Let's say, assuming by this point they're still in champ position, they've been dominating, they've been cleaning up. We finally make this super fight. But you say, why would this be the co-main event? This is going to be the biggest event of all time. Assuming Tom Aspinall beats Cyril Gane, maybe he gets one more victory. We got to do it. We got to get Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. This is the fight that eluded us for so long. We have the incentive to finally get John Jones motivated. Let's do this fight at the top of the bill, heavyweight for all the marbles, American versus British. You can't beat it. There's the fantasy card. Boom. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you like my fantasy White House card that I put together? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think this is even possible? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.